So welcome to R&B Reptiles Presents. We're here tonight with MegaConda, Meghan Kelley. She is a anaconda expert, and she's going to teach us all there is to know about them. So stay tuned.
But
I don't know. I don't know. You're an expert.
Yeah, it's up on the
screen.
That's what it does.
You gotta get Anaconda in there, though.
I could do that.
So, hi.
All right, so yeah, so we can get into it now.
Do we do the typical? You guys want to start from the beginning? Give us the old backstory, how Meghan got where she's at right now?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, tell us about you.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of just started with having stuff as I grew up. Like, I started with a ball python when I was like 5, and then just kind of started getting more as I grew up. And then when I was like 15, I bought my first anaconda off Craigslist after I was told not to because my parents didn't like the stereotype they had. And I was like, well, I want one, so I ended up getting it. I still have it. She's actually my biggest one. She's 13 feet now. I call her a puppy.
So at 15, would you say you're a anaconda expert?
Like I had burns and retics at that point, but I never had.
Wow, at 15?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, between me and my brother, we both had them. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you started collecting more and more. Like, how did you dig so deep into anacondas?
I got the one, kind of just loved it, got another one, and then just kept getting more.
That's usually how it happens.
Yeah.
So
what was the most you've had at one time?
I mean, does this include babies that I produced?
Sure.
Over 40.
40 anacondas.
It's a good deal of anacondas.
Yeah, that's a lot of.
I have 20 just ones that like I'm breeding and like growing up and stuff that are just like mine, plus the babies I've produced.
And do you primarily work with green anacondas or do you do yellows?
I don't like yellows. Personally, I just don't like yellows.
That's a little racist. I don't know.
We might have to cut that. We're sorry if this offends any yellow anacondas out there.
What? Sure, not watching. We're gonna be okay.
That's a good one.
So, okay, so you have how many are you successfully breeding them? I imagine.
Yeah, I've had 6 litters of them now. I think.
That's pretty good. A lot of people are having a hard time breeding green anacondas. Wow.
I get 2 a year at this point. I started out like the first 3 years I was doing it, I just got 1, and now I'm up to like 2.
That's pretty good.
And how many in a litter do you typically get?
Usually they average in like the teens, but this last one I got 20 something.
Wow.
Not bad.
That's pretty good for green anacondas from what I understand. I don't know a ton of like I enjoy them, but I'm not a ton knowledgeable about it. So I want to learn more. So how long have you've been breeding now? For 3 years, you said?
Well, no, I've been breeding for like 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah. Just the last like 2 years, I got 2 in a year. 2 different females produced them.
Okay.
So, yeah. Before that, I just got. The very first year I did it, I almost got 2, but the second one slugged out on me.
Okay.
So that kind of sucked. But,
and were you working with captive born stock, or is this?
As far as I know, the one I got off Craigslist was wild caught, but the male I got after her was.
We got light show over at Dave's. He's got a big storm coming in apparently, so we might see Dave get blown out to the next state.
Yeah. Enjoy Dave while it lasts.
Yeah.
That mustache is going to attract lightning. That's all I'm saying.
Man, there's little bits of metal in this thing.
It attracts something, that's for sure.
Not women. Not women.
So, I guess I would love to know how you go about keeping and breeding your anacondas.
Yeah, really.
Any specific techniques you like to use?
Not really. I mean, you gotta throw them in a heat cycle that's pretty drastic. Like, you gotta drop them to like 74
Okay.
for like almost a month straight before you introduce a male, and you want to keep the male at like 80 before you introduce him.
So dropping to 74 at night, and what are they at during the day?
I think we're starting at the end of the story here. What do you usually keep them at? Because I don't even know what you would.
I mean,
Anaconda at.
average. I mean, you gotta have like a high humidity, but I mean, the hot spot's always at like 88 normally.
Okay.
I pulled this thing out of the water. I'm like dripping wet now.
Yeah, kids watch this. You're not allowed to say things like that.
Gotta keep it PG.
So you said you had to keep them pretty humid.
Yeah.
How much water do you keep in the enclosure?
I try and give them a bowl that they can at least fit in to like soak.
Okay.
Dave's still got lightning going on over there.
Yeah, it's gonna get a lot worse. The storm hasn't even started yet. It's gonna be crazy. We're gonna love it. It's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be awesome. Yeah.
Let's not get distracted though.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't really know how else to describe how I breed them. You kind of just do the heat cycle and then throw the male in.
What is it that you what I'm no expert on anacondas, but from what I understand, people have a hard time breeding them. Not a lot of litters every year. What do you think is the problem that people are having? That you're obviously being successful with it. Like, is there any tips you give these people, or?
I'm not exactly sure. I kind of just got lucky the first time, and then just like I learned a lot from Ben because Ben told me how to do everything, like the heat cycles and everything. Because like I struggled for like 2 years before I actually got him to go.
Okay.
So I'd always ask him questions. And so the heat cycle thing, like dropping them I would drop them, but I would never drop them that low for like a long period of time, for like overnight. It was like a 12-hour period. So
okay.
Like I was kind of scared to drop them that low at first, but it ended up working.
Okay, and so just to be clear, when everybody's listening, people that might not know, you're talking about Ben Rennick.
Right.
So, and he, some people may not know that he had a pretty good collection of anacondas.
Right. I mean, he's some of the best anacondas in the country, if not the world. So.
Yeah, more than just ball pythons.
Right.
So you learned a lot from Ben.
Right.
Did you pick up any animals from him?
No, but my brother used to get some retics from him. I never personally got any from him.
Okay.
So my brother got some of his ghost project, the Rennick Ghost.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those were pretty cool. Like when those came in, I used to help my brother a lot in the beginning. So now we kind of just do our own thing.
So we were talking about the possible difficulties that come with breeding the species. Do you think a couple of the reasons that people don't have a lot of success with it is because they're working with wild-caught stock or trying to breed them a little too young?
Yeah, I think, okay, so the age thing is a big thing. Like, a lot of people don't understand, like, females usually go around 6 years old.
Oh.
I had one
That's
who
crazy.
didn't go until she was 10. Like, she was just so stubborn.
Huh.
Like, I've had her, like, 10 years? Yeah, I've had her 10 years. And she finally went. She was a little older when I got her.
That makes sense. I mean, we find that with a bunch of species, when people get a lot of information about one species and everybody's like, oh, well, then they all should be about that age, like not everything's a blue-tongued skink or not everything is a ball python they can breed in a year and a half or whatever. So we're finding more and more when you start to understand different species that it takes a long time for their bodies to develop. They might get there weight-wise, but and maybe size-wise, but not the internal organs ready to be
hormones that they need to start generating and whatnot.
So that's a very interesting fact about the age.
Well, that's for a female. Males usually go around 3.
Yeah.
But the females don't go until they're about 6 years old. So, and usually what I've noticed is the bigger they are, the more they'll give you or they'll slug out more. So I had one who slugged out on me almost 3 years ago. She gave me 27 slugs, and it was her very first breeding.
Wow.
Sad part is I had the males in with her. So here's another thing with anacondas: you can throw as many males as you want in there, and they're not going to hurt each other. Where like with other species like retics, they'll fight to the death.
Okay.
So anacondas, like you kind of want to get like a breeding ball going. So you want to throw.
Yeah, isn't that what it is? They have like a mating ball in the wild or something.
That's Dave was talking about that on our last podcast, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't pay attention.
Maybe. Yeah, I hardly listen to me too, so it's okay.
You definitely did. So yeah, and that. So how many males would you say is the good number of males to put in with each female?
I mean, I have 2 adult males that I just throw in there, and then whichever one I try to get the male I want to breed the female I want, and usually it ends up working. There's been like a couple times where like the one I want doesn't want to get the job done, so the other one will kind of do it. But I always try and like put one male in first and just see how it goes. But if he doesn't show any interest, you throw in like a second or a third male, and it usually helps with like competition, where like the one you don't want to breed will help the one you do want to breed kind of get going.
Gotcha. It does make sense.
Could slip like a rubber glove on the tail of the one that you don't want to get in there. And now, I feel like I kind of felt like it was a good idea. And now you're laughing at me.
That was a great idea. It was a great idea.
Anaconda condoms. It's the next big thing.
I think that we should do. I think there could be a market for that.
Could be. Whose face is going on it?
We'll have to.
I mean, heck, anaconda condoms. I would do that.
You too, so it's all right. Don't feel conceited.
I mean, who wouldn't want their face on an anaconda condom? I mean,
I would.
I can get any nose around here.
I apologize. I'm sorry.
So Dave, why don't we get back to this? Go ahead.
Hold on. I have an air conditioner that keeps turning on. It goes on by heat. I'm gonna see if I can turn it off.
You can barely hear it, so I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
Okay, there we go. I can turn it off on my phone.
So for boas in general, don't they usually, like if you're doing boa constrictors, a lot of people say wait till 4 or 5 years on the females, right? Like, is that?
Well, boa constrictors, in all honesty, there's a lot of different ways with those. So originally, everyone would say about 2.5 years and about 10 pounds is a good time to start breeding your female. Rich Eiley, early on when he got into the salmon boa project, got some of his females up to breeding size in 18 months and got them to successfully give them a litter. And now people like Vin Russo and Jeff Ronnie are actually raising their females up slower, letting them hit sexual maturity at 5 years old and roughly in like the 6 to 8 pound range. So there's a lot of different ways to get them to sexual maturity. You could do it by getting them to size really quick. That or just wait X amount of years, give them a normal diet, and don't make them obese and keep them lean, and they do just great. Vin Russo has pictures on his Instagram page of Suriname boas, gravid, where he can literally put his hand over the top of it and almost cover the entire female coiled up on the heat. So, but again, I think he waited about 6 years to breed that female, and she was no more than 5 or 6 pounds from the looks of the picture.
So I guess I was just reaching for a false correlation there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, compared to boas, the condas is not like far-fetched. You've probably even seen in the past there's been some hybridizations between yellow anacondas and boa constrictors, your commons.
I did not know that.
Someone bred like a sun glow boa to a yellow anaconda.
That's pretty wild.
And there's been other. Megan, has anybody crossed a green anaconda with a boa yet?
They've done greens and yellows. I don't know about with like another boa.
Yeah, maybe. We're going to look up pictures of this. If we find them, we'll throw them on here. But I think it might have been like a hybrid of green and a standard boa, or your common boa constrictor.
Green anacondas and Kenyan sand boas? I'm in.
Oof. Oof. So you guys seen the ball python retic back in the day, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they have burn balls.
Yeah, the burn ball. The albino burn ball was really badass.
Never
Yeah.
But, okay, well, Megan, so the breeding thing, like you said, you learned a lot of stuff from Ben along the way, and I'm sure you kind of picked up on from some other people in the industry. You got your temperature drops you're talking about for about a month. and then you start your pairings. You do this seasonally. You're on your own timeline. You have a certain month you like to cool everyone down and kind of go from there, right?
It kind of depends. So, like, most of them will start going around, like, now. Like, I have, my biggest one is breeding now. Like, I saw 2 locks so far, but she's now in a shed. So I'm a little confused by that one right now. Because she bred, and then 2 days later she started getting blue. So it was weird, which is not normal. At least not what I've seen before. But I have one that likes to go in July, just randomly. But the rest of them that I have will start in, like, March and go until, like, May almost. That's, like, the average for them. At least for mine, except for the one.
That's interesting.
Oh, yeah. And, you have the, app on your phone that you always show me along the way where it counts down so you have your litters come in. About how many days after ovulation have you figured out they have a litter?
If you can catch an ovulation, because it's kind of hard to tell with them sometimes.
Well, you measure it by your post-ovulation shed then, right?
Yeah. I mean, I've gone 190 days, 996 days sometimes.
Wow.
That is pretty long gestation period, huh?
Yeah.
It's a long process. That's why, really, honestly, only breeding a female every other year, every 3 years is best because, again, it's a full year plus process just to get one litter out of them sometimes.
Right?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Super long time to getting one to, like, another, or even just getting them up to size to breed. So you have to be, like, super patient with these animals.
Yeah. The babies come out pretty big, right? Like, extremely big.
I mean, I'll grab a baby. This one's...
That's a year limit.
Year and a half, I think.
Year and a half?
So that's just about ready to breed, huh?
Yeah, just about.
This is actually one of my prettier females that came from my two favorites that I've bred together. She's like super light. She looks a lot like the father. I don't know, the camera doesn't show it very well.
No, it never does. We tried this in other episodes. Just, if you want animals to look good, don't put them on our show.
Well, hopefully we can get some B-roll of it, and we'll put up a really nice shot.
Yeah, afterwards you can take pictures or whatever and send them to me. We'll try to put them up.
Okay, let me grab a baby.
I can go full screen too, but
yeah, that's your job.
The webcam never really does the job, though. Hey,
hi.
Would you blink, Dave, for crying out loud?
There was comments that people were like, "Hey, so I couldn't tell if Dave was like a statue or."
Dave,
sometimes when you're like really into it, you're like really focused and you're listening, and it's just.
Yeah, I'm really locked in on my face. Yeah, I pay a lot of attention to me during this. Blinking is a sign of weakness.
So that's a fresh baby?
Yeah, it's probably gonna bite me, so that'll be fun. Here, where's my camera?
It looks really dark compared to the last one. Do they tend to lighten up as they age?
Yeah, I think it's about to go into a shed. Let's see.
Okay.
Uncoil. Wait, let's move me. Wait.
And that was, how long ago was that born?
December.
Oh, wow. And when you're starting them out, do they usually start out on chicks, or are you able to get them right over to rats?
A lot of the ones I've had recently have started on rats, but some of them have started on chicks. And
do you find they do better on rats, or do you think they should have a varied diet?
I mean, they grow faster on rats. The chicks are just mostly feathers. There's not a lot of meat to it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some, though, that, like, the really, really picky ones will start out on fish.
Oh, wow. Fish. That'd have to be a pretty big fish, huh?
You can get, like, tilapia fillets and cut it up and give it to them, and that also helps you with stuff if you want to switch them over. Surprised this thing hasn't bitten me yet. This is one of the meaner ones. It's also one of the last ones I have left.
You're going to jinx
it. So you're saying that one's for sale? Is that what you're saying?
Not this specific one. This one's sold to one of my friends. I'm just waiting for it to not be as picky. This one, they don't want it on chicks, so it's going to my friend. So I'm kind of putting in like the extra work to get it on rats.
Gotcha.
So, but there's another male that's still available.
What do they usually go for?
I've been selling them for $1,400.
Wow,
$14.
14.
That was 2010. It's 2020 now. It's a completely different market.
Yeah.
What do you sell them for, Dave?
I don't know. I've never had to sell one before. I just want to hoard them all back.
I don't know if you want to. So, Dave, you have a couple. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, we can bring that up. You good with that, right? You don't give a shit. So of course, when we started helping out with Ben's stuff, he had his group of anacondas. And we had I think we kept an eye on them for about a year and a half, and then at that point, we ended up reaching out to Megan just because her experience doing this, and kind of wanted to find a partner with it. So we took him over to Megan's place. I want to say about a year and a half ago.
Yeah,
I think like September, right? Yeah. So, like I said, I didn't know a ton of people in the Conda community, and breeding loans are really difficult. I find in this industry, a lot of people say you can't have partners. I'm surprised you guys are still together, but I'm rooting for you.
Buy a thread.
It's
A thread.
Yeah, but needed somebody to kind of help out with it, and I just figured you couldn't go wrong with Megan. I think we talk almost daily about the projects. She's always letting me know what's going on with them, and one of the litters that she had in December, or was it first week of January or last week of December?
It was the first week of January.
First week of January. Ben had this aneurystic female that I believe he had for anywhere from 8 to 10 years before he passed away, and then that puts that female at least 13 years old, but they never got a successful litter out of her. And finally this year we got a successful litter out of her. So I'm pretty excited about that. And the T positive is breeding right now also with a couple of the double het males that Ben had produced. And they haven't quite got the tail up in the air yet, but they are showing the female a little bit of attention now.
Yep.
But she can tell you more about the progress that's being made over there with that.
Like what?
I don't know, man. Give me something.
I mean,
Well, are they together now? Is she still in shed? Where are you at with her?
shed. I mean, I can pull her out, but she's deep in shed. Like, she doesn't turn blue, she turns pink. Like, she's bright pink when she sheds.
I mean, you can put the camera on her if you want to take it off your bungee cord thingy, and if you'd like, doesn't matter.
My iPad setup on is a pair of tongs, like those like clamp ones, and they're just like kind of stuck in a tub because there's a gap, and they're just spread out, and it's just balancing there.
Okay, then yeah, you don't have to do that.
We'll get a B-roll of it later.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be rolling later.
It looks like that like poop emoji.
It absolutely does. It's funny.
That is perfect.
Yeah, that's a perfect little poopy.
So are those and this is me being, I have known nothing about the anaconda community, unfortunately. I'm ashamed of myself. Are those the only morphs that we have in anacondas that you guys have, or does anybody else working with this?
Majority of them are just, there's one other person who has, I think, an anery male, and then there's that T negative down in Texas somewhere.
Yeah. You guys ever seen the T negative green anaconda?
No.
It's pretty beautiful.
I don't know. What kind do you have again?
We have the T positive.
Right. Okay. So I don't think I've seen the T negative.
I'll send you guys a picture after the episode. You'll get a kick out of it. And then there's a gentleman that they found that patternless a couple years ago in the wild.
That's still in Brazil, though.
Still in Brazil, yeah. For now, now that it's public, I'm sure it's going to end up going to Europe or something like that. But yeah, they found a patternless male in the wild, and it almost looks like it's hypomelanistic or something else because it's got a very orangish kind of look to it, I'd say,
It's
like a brown and orange.
It almost looks like, you know what the green Burmese looks like?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty much what it looks like. Just like no pattern, like that color, kind of like just like a poop green or like gold. Weird. It's like baby poop color.
And the eye color on that, where did they like? It was like a silverish blue eye on that one, also.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, and the tongue color was weird too, wasn't it? It seemed like everything about that thing was weird. Like it might actually be a double mutation.
So, normally anacondas have like a black tongue. That thing had like almost like a silver looking tongue.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll dig up pictures of that one also. That was a neat one, but it kind of went public, I'd say about a month or two ago. It ended up being shared on Facebook, and I think it got sent around a little bit in some of the groups. But yeah, definitely a very unique animal. It's unfortunate with the laws that I feel like every week we have to talk about something law related, but you know, we can't bring in new green anaconda stock. Anything that we have is what we have, and you know, that's what we're going to live with now. But
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Didn't they clamp down on the imports of that?
yeah, no more import or exporting out of the country for that project, for anything green anaconda.
Export them. You just can't import them.
Oh, you can export them still?
Yeah, they don't care about getting it out of the country. They care about bringing it in.
Okay. And
weird.
is there any laws with the green or the yellow anacondas? Like, do they all fall in the same category, or is it just the greens?
I think it's both. You can export them, but you can't import them.
Okay.
I know you can't import any yellows or greens.
It's funny in Jersey. It's weird. Like we have a bunch of weird laws in Jersey. And I know I kind of talk about that a bit, but you could, for a long time, keep yellow anacondas here with no permits, but you weren't allowed to keep green anacondas even with a permit. And they changed it to now you're allowed to keep green anacondas as well with a permit, but you need a permit for a ball python. You can still keep yellows without a permit. Does that seem crazy?
Yeah, you can keep reticks and berms without a permit, but not ball pythons. Like, it's so wacky.
It's crazy.
It's kind of peculiar. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think in the state of New York, you can't even own a green. I don't even know if there's a permit you can have in New York.
You can own anything over like 5 or 6 feet in New York.
Yeah, it's a 6 foot max in the city. I don't know about the suburbs, but
Yeah.
they have that same rule in Philly too. I think. Like Philadelphia, you can't have anything over 6 foot, or in the city, there's a lot of laws. But once you get to the burbs, it's like a free for all. I don't know.
That's weird. I know a lot of people in Philly that have all big snakes, like reticks. So,
Yeah. You didn't hear that here?
I don't know anything about that.
I'm not gonna name names, but I know a few.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll throw them under the bus later in the episode. Let's hold off on that.
Yeah.
Could you imagine having like 30 reticulated pythons in the basement of a row home? Like
in Center City, Philly.
I've been down in those basements in row homes. Like it's a little tough.
I'm not commenting at all on this topic. Yeah, my jokes would not be appreciated in the community, so I'm gonna just sit back here and listen. But well, I don't know, Megan. What the fuck? What else? I mean, shows. When did you start doing shows? You know, first ones you got to walk. Seeing you're in California, I imagine Pomona's the first show you ever got to see.
It was either Pomona or NARBC Anaheim.
Okay.
Which didn't do well the last 2 years, but those are like the closest shows to me. So like I always go to those like a teenager kind of time. But the first show I ever vended was Pomona, I think.
Okay.
So you do you regularly vend?
I don't usually do it myself. I usually end up like helping out my friends because I don't have much to sell at shows because I always sell out before the shows. Or I don't have anything during the show because, like I said, everything for me is like seasonal. Mm-hmm. So it's like right now I have a couple babies left. So if there was a show going on, I might vend it. But like I said, everything's usually like pre-sold.
So as far as like breeding and selling anacondas, like I have no idea. Like, what is the cost basis of owning and keeping a group of breeding anacondas as opposed to what you get to sell out of it? Like, is it a, you know, a labor of love, or is it a profitable?
I've never really done the math. With how many I have, I don't think it's profitable because it's a lot in food. But I don't know. I kind of just like doing it. Like, that's just my thing. Like, I have a full-time job. I do this just for fun because I like the animals. Like,
well, that's the best reason to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I want you to think about, and maybe you don't have to answer right now, but at least soon or now if you can think of it. But can you give us one of your funniest stories of, like, you know, having to handle, because a lot of times people handle these big snakes and they run into trouble, or they have like some funny situation. And we've, even with, smaller animals, we still have funny situations that happen for us. And so it's always fun to hear people's, comedic stories, I guess. And we could tell you one of ours. Dave could tell you a ton, I'm sure.
Kind of. Okay, so this double het female, Dave already said I have them. The double het female, no one ever held it growing up, and this thing's like 10 feet now. It is the meanest snake I've ever dealt with.
Okay.
There was one day I just took her bowl out, cleaned it, and I was putting it back to fill it up. And she's the kind of snake who will hunt you underneath the paper. She's that mean. It's not fun. You can't touch her with your hand. You have to use tools. Yeah. And she was at one end of the cage, and I just kind of was watching her, and I went to fill up the bowl, and she just came launching out. There's a video of it because I have a security camera in here, and she came launching out, and where her bowl is closest to one of the exit doors to the room. So I just let her come out because I wasn't gonna fight her, and I was hoping I could just once she turned around, I could just kind of hook her and get her back in. And she came fully out, and I closed the door, and the hose got pinched underneath the door, and she started climbing the door, and she's looking at me through the window, and it was like I said, she's mean, and I don't want to just kind of go head to head with her. I kind of let her calm down, and then I kind of put her back. But no, the funny part is the door pinched the hose, and it ended up leaking. And I had the end of the hose outside the door, which goes into my garage because I built this huge snake room in my garage. So I had to empty the hose in order to get it out into the garage as the snake is climbing the door. And eventually she turned around, and I was able to kind of just pick her head up and put her back in the cage, went in on her own. But the way she just kind of behaved was the funny, scary part, I guess, because she's not nice. She will bite you. She's the kind, and she's weird. She's the kind of female I'm afraid will eat a male because she has tried to eat her water bowl out of nowhere. She's tried to eat her out of nowhere. This snake is just kind of retarded.
When you're describing that, I'm picturing the Velociraptor scene from Jurassic Park where it's breathing on the window on the door.
Exactly what we have going on right now.
And the males are aggressive, but they're nowhere near as aggressive as her. And
That's crazy.
Double heads that are just mean. She's the worst. The albino's fine. The anaries are okay. They're handleable. You can move them with your hands. But her, you can't touch her at all. She's not fun.
You need a trap box that can put a 10-foot anaconda in.
I mean, I found the easiest way to clean her cage because they love to soak. Is I take her bowl out in the morning, and then I'll fill up a tub of water, and so she'll want to come and crawl in the tub of water outside the cage, and then eventually that's kind of how I deal with her without having to manhandle her. So I just kind of get her in the tub of water, clean her cage, leave her in there for a couple hours, and just then put her back.
That's smart.
Yeah.
I'm really getting concerned for you over there, Dave.
Yeah, you're welcome. Welcome. It hasn't even started yet. Rain is still coming down like this. It's going to start coming down like this soon. I'm just waiting for it. It's kind of nasty out there, but okay. So Megan's saying, the double hets have always been a little nasty. I brought her all the boxes out and kind of sent her on her way, and then she got home and a couple of the snake bags are just covered in blood because I got hit while trying to put things in the bags initially. And I had my friend's father with me who didn't have a whole lot of snake experience, and I had him help and hold the bags open so I could pack these before we left. And I think he was scared senseless. He saw that thing tag me and the amount of blood. He was not a big fan of what I made him do, but we got through it and got him bagged up. But I bled pretty good.
I still have
those. Not as bad as the leopard gecko bite, but pretty good bite. Pretty good bites.
So just so our audience knows, Dave is taking pre-orders on the albino stuff. So contact him if you're
No, that is not true.
Yeah, Ryan put himself at the top of the list.
Somehow.
So it's what's best? Just everybody hit Ryan up and ask him what he's not taking, and then we'll work it out from there.
That's a great idea. What's your phone number again, Dave?
That's
I'm not afraid to put my phone number out there. We'll just put it right across the middle of the screen right now. Everyone call Dave. I might answer the phone. Text me. I prefer if you text me.
Dave's not a phone person.
Yeah, I'm a great guy. Yeah, so if you have other projects coming up with other species, you got some retic stuff coming up. You got T-positive Burmese pythons, which I think are absolutely beautiful.
I can pull
Wow.
that. He's nice. I'll grab him.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. I think you were saying there's 3 different lines of T-positive, 2 or 3 different lines of T-positive. Yeah, she's back there somewhere. We'll ask her these questions. My berm knowledge is.
So there's 2, which is the Allen Way line and the Gulf Coast line. I don't think the 3rd line has been proven yet, but I think Bob said he had a 3rd line, Bob Clark. Not 100% sure on all that, but there's at least the 2 that have been confirmed.
It's starting to hail.
Nice.
Dave, do you have a funny story about maybe a animal that got a little out of hand?
You just said it about the bag.
Yeah, I tried to bag up like anacondas. How many crazy stories do you think I got up here, buddy?
Yeah, you have a ton of them, I'm sure.
I do have a ton. But this is about me right now.
That's true. Let's see this.
That's a cool animal. That's beauty.
Isn't it?
Come here.
You're looking very professional over there.
Thanks. My
Well, that-
light. Let's see if I can fix this.
Oh, don't touch it. It's going to fall.
So that's just an albino?
It's a caramel albino. It's the Allen Way line caramel.
Almost looks hypo-ish.
So Alan Way,
There
he's
we
the one
go.
who
That's
started.
better.
Yeah, that looks really nice. Yeah, that's probably the best looking snake we put on here so far.
It's okay.
Well, the colors just work. Trust me. We tried this with a few other people.
Not better in person, but that's pretty accurate
Mm.
for the most part.
Wow. Dave, you were saying?
Oh yeah, Alan. So Alan's done a lot of Burmese mutations. He's got the scaleless. He started the pieds. I think he started the Champagne project.
Wow.
He had these really unique red color berms years ago, but I don't know whatever happened with that project. But no, Alan's had some pretty beautiful animals over the years. He's pioneered a lot of new berm mutations into this.
Wow. Sometimes we have these people on, like Megan here, and I'm just so I feel like I don't know enough about enough species, you don't. Yeah. It's awesome to see some beautiful animals, and to learn stuff like this is I'm just thinking about, oh man, it'd be cool to keep so many different things. But
That's the problem. There's too many cool animals in this hobby. Too many
it's true.
awesome species. It's easy to get hooked, man. And we talked about it in past episodes. There's a lot of species we don't pay attention to, and you actually start paying attention to them and find out all the different line bred traits and mutations and some of the backstories. Man, it's endless. We're like I said, we're a little spoiled in ball pythons where we have 7,000 or 20,000 different things to look at. But most species out there have at least 4 or 5 different things to play with. It seems.
Yeah, absolutely. So Megan, can I ask you one of the things I guess that's people are talking to us a little bit about is that women are starting to become more and more prevalent in the reptile community, or at least getting out there more and more. And I think that it's awesome that you're working with large constrictors and stuff. Is there any advice you would give to women that are, nervous about being out in the reptile community?
I have no idea.
Prepared to get a lot of dick pics. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Is that the best advice we have for women?
No, it's not the best advice. It's a warning. It's a disclaimer.
It is a
What did
disclaimer.
you say?
I just said, being a female breeder, you may get your share of penis pictures.
Oh, yeah,
Snake in the grass.
Fun. I've shown Dave a few that I've gotten. It's it's hilarious, but it's gross at the same time.
I've seen a lot of penis because of her. A lot of penis.
Because of her. Okay.
You on your own.
Oh boy.
So
So we didn't even let her answer the question. So give your, get future girls wanting to do this. What's your words of inspiration?
You're gonna get underestimated a lot just because it's a guy-run hobby, basically, and they don't think you can do it. And then there's people like me who are working with big animals, and there's more women getting into it as well. But yeah, you are gonna get a lot of shit. People are gonna hate on you a lot. Just ignore it. It's, I mean, if you know what you're doing, you know what you're doing. You don't have anything to prove. So.
Right on.
Yeah, that's good advice. What was that? Dave is what?
Looking scared.
Well, there's really big things hitting top of my car right now. It kind of excites me a little bit, but yeah, we're good.
What we don't know is he's not wearing pants right now.
That was last episode, buddy. This episode, I am full pants in it.
So,
But,
what's your favorite? Obviously, your favorite species, I would assume, is the green anaconda. But what's your favorite animal in your collection?
I mean, obviously the albino anaconda. That's been a dream of mine since I found out about it.
Are we allowed to see it?
That's the one that's in shed, right?
I mean, yeah, I can get her. She can be a little iffy in shed, but we'll try it.
I'm excited, Dave.
Don't get yourself locked outside, like.
Yeah, don't get yourself locked. Dave, this is awesome.
I'm on top of a mountain, so I think I don't know. We're okay. We're okay until we're not okay.
I mean, really,
I don't have to say anything. This is all just cosmetic for you guys at this point.
I'm gonna move.
It's funny because I see the lightning over there, and I feel like there's a storm at my house.
Yeah. Well, that's a good one. It's a good one. I just want to start hailing again. They said there was going to be that penny-sized hail. I want to really see it coming down.
Those look like the old Bowmaster cages.
They are, and I'm not a fan. I bought them for like $100 a piece, because I needed them at the time, and I want to rebuild them. So like, I built my own cages. So like this stack, I built these.
Okay,
that's awesome.
I also built all my tubs. That's where I had my thing set up.
That's cool.
Let's pull this thing out.
So she's lucky enough at her father's work. I think they have a laser cutter, so she can do all the laser cutting for the wood. So
nice.
That was
little
a
perk.
Hey, come on.
I think we're gonna go big on this one.
You should go big on this one.
Don't get bit and send women 10 years back in the hobby.
It's my own fault.
I feel like you need a bigger hook. We're gonna need a bigger boat.
Oh.
I have a bigger hook. She's already bitten me once.
I don't want you to get hurt.
What's new?
Uh,
Come on.
By the way, it's a very pleasant animal. Just, when she's in shed sometimes, she can be a little antsy.
Wow.
wow.
Look at that. That's a beauty.
That's amazing.
And Dave wonders why he's got people asking him what the deal is with this and when they can get one.
It really is one of my favorite mutations in any species ever. We should have planned this podcast around it not being in shed.
I mean, we can try it again in a week.
Yeah.
You can send us pictures, and in a week or so, once she's done shedding, just send us pictures and we'll put it in.
Yeah, we got some good pictures of her. So,
Dave's posted has been pictures I've taken in the last almost 2 years.
Yeah.
they say, did you want to corral out anything else while you're at it?
I mean, what do you want?
I don't know. Well, your biggest, most gentlest one?
I have a mail with her. Let's see. Hold on, I gotta open this cage. Okay. So, I gotta turn it sideways.
Hold on, go full screen on that one.
Yeah, it did.
Okay. This is my biggest one.
That's a chunky one.
In breeding. So she's actually like building right now. She may have ovulated. I'm not sure. I haven't been paying that close attention. Anyways, there's a male right here. He's friendly. This is my female. Where's my finger? There. And then here. Come here.
Oh, he's a sweetheart.
Wow.
I love that, man.
Yeah. He's like massively big.
Super big. Like not having ovulated. Like being somebody who doesn't know anything about this, I would be like, she's definitely ovulated, but like I don't know. Like that's just
you know, Columbia bows can be like that sometimes. You'll go in, you'll just see like a pretty good sized bulge, and you think something's going on there, and then nothing happens.
That is cool though.
That is very cool.
Yeah, she's friendly. The male that's in there as well is like super friendly. Ow. I sat on my paper towels.
So as far as handability, how handleable they are.
Yeah, don't edit that out.
As far as handability.
I can handle anything in here, usually without a hook.
Okay.
Minus the double heads.
So on average, anacondas tame down pretty well.
Oh yeah, they're the nicest snakes I have.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Retics can be unpredictable with their like food response. Like you always want to have a hook with the retic, and plus their teeth are like twice the size, if not 3 times the size as an anaconda. So you want to be more wary of like retics because they have like a cutting edge on their teeth, which they'll slice right down to the bone. Where anacondas will just put holes in you. The only downside to anacondas is when they start biting, they don't stop. It's always just like go, go, go until you get away from them.
And plus, you got to get all those capybaras. Like, it's just a pain.
Right.
That's what they eat, right?
They have been known to eat those.
So
Yeah.
I've been trying to breed capybaras for years. It's not easy.
New Jersey lets you do that?
With a license?
Oh,
probably.
You know, we have a satellite facility in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
That's not true.
No. This.
You're supposed
I
to
think you have a capybara.
I just like capybaras.
I don't know what else I have to show you guys. I mean, the most exciting thing I showed you. Like, that's the best thing ever.
That is.
It is
the end.
What, Dave?
Did we just peek?
I think we did.
It seems like it.
Wait, are you breeding the albino?
Trying to. And the males haven't. They've been trying, but they haven't like been successful.
How many males did you put in with her?
The 2 double heads. One of them doesn't like to breed. He may like boys. The other one is proven because he bred the anery, which the anery is right here, but she's also in shed and not friendly in shed.
Would you consider putting in other males with her, just to try to get a clutch out of her? I mean, a litter out of her.
Non-het males?
No, because
you didn't hear that part where this takes 6 or 7 years to get to sexual maturity, right?
it takes 2 years to breed them again. The males take 3 to 4 years just to breed themselves. So, like, the double het males are now 5. I think they're 5. Because what Ben did is, they're 5. They were born in 15.
Yeah, it was 15.
Yeah, it was like the end of 15.
So they're just coming to their stride right now.
Well, they've sired maybe this past year.
The one proved out. The one bred the anery.
And you produce visual aneries out of that?
One that I know of. They're hard to tell. Like as babies, so baby anacondas start out like a brownish color and then get green. Never seen a baby anery before, but this one does look very different.
Okay.
I gotta wash my hands though.
We're trying to figure out the ins and outs of this. So again, there were 9 babies, and it was double het to visual, or at least what's said to be visual breeding. Ben had got in the 1 female aneurystic, and then years later got in the male aneurystic. And we're kind of debating whether or not we had really bad odds, or if there could be something else going on there where possibly the female could be an exanthic or anery, and the male could be exanthic or anery, which is not compatible. That or worst case scenario, the female could be some kind of line bred trait of just a darker green. She is right. There is one baby that is starting to show a little bit of or showing difference, but not as drastic as we had assumed it was going to be.
So he's a little bit darker in color. His greens are more not so green, but his face is gray. Turn that way, please. He will bite me. See, his face is gray instead of like having that orange.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He really likes the camera. Can we turn sideways? No, we cannot. Okay. Just loving the camera.
He's a star.
Yeah.
So
That's cool.
yeah. So genetically, we got to figure this out, but yeah.
I do. I mean, I can pull out another one. Just one sec. The other one's just ate like small rats because they're eating frozen. He's not. Oh, this one's gonna bite. That's not fun. I got one hand.
Yeah, I wanted to see that we're both smiling because we've been there. We're like trying to handle snakes on camera, and like you're like trying to be cool and focused, and then like one of them's like leaving, and you're like, no, I gotta go, and then one of them's like pooping in somewhere, and you're like,
Okay.
these things aren't cooperating.
This one tried to bite me. So that one, can you tell the difference?
I can definitely see the orange on the face more, for sure.
So got orange.
Mm-hmm.
That one does not.
It's
This
gray,
one,
yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
That's wild.
bite me.
And you can see the orange is kind of muted into the, I don't know what they're called on the side, saddles or...
And they're siblings.
Yeah.
They came from the same parent.
Huh. That is cool.
Yeah.
Right on. And that usually develops over time more, right?
Right. So like a normal will get more green. My babies tend to get a lot lighter in color as they grow. I have no idea what these ones are gonna look like because the double heads have a really light green to them, and yeah, they just look different. You can tell there's something different with the double heads just by like looking at them. And they have like really bright oranges too.
Okay.
Let's see. There we go. He's not moving. Where's the camera? Am I there?
There you are.
There we go. See? There we go.
Yeah, you can definitely see the difference.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right. Go home.
Let's do this way.
Well, do a good job breeding those things because we want to buy them.
We want to know what's going on. I don't know
I might keep them all.
if
That's messed up.
I really like this one. The anery, I think is anery. I'm gonna call it anery just because it looks different.
Now, do you name all of your snakes?
Either I do or someone else does. So most of my adults, someone else named. So I just kind of kept the names. Plus, it's easier to tell them apart.
Okay.
Like if you have someone else coming to water them, you can tell them which cage is which just by the name that's on it.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
That's a fine idea.
I mean, that's kind of what I do. Plus, everyone online seemed to like pick up on the names, even though I didn't really say it. Other people would say their names, so
Yeah.
the name just stuck. So now everyone's like, "How's this one? How's that one?" It's a thing now.
Yeah, it's great to give them that little bit of personality, especially for their social media presence.
Right.
Yeah.
I really-
Your famous animals out there.
So, do you have any that aren't named yet that we could name?
Dog just peeked his head in the door. And it was really funny.
Can we name the dog?
Is the dog have a name?
His name's Barkley. I can grab him.
Can we see the dog?
What's going on with you today? You're like,
What?
That's pretty normal.
Being a good interviewer.
see the dog.
Who doesn't like dogs?
Dags. I like
I
Dags.
like dogs.
Get back in there.
That dog sounds like it's a tasty treat for anacondas.
Well, he's not allowed in the room, and he knows it. So what he'll do is he'll just like poke his head in the door and just like look and see what I'm doing.
If the dog is smart, it won't go in that room.
It's the smell. He doesn't like the smell. Although if there is like a snake shit on the floor, he'll take it. I don't know why. He just takes it.
That's
It's a dominance thing.
He's just a thief.
So you're talking a little bit about social media. So you're pretty popular on Instagram.
Yeah.
Do you have any secrets to becoming more popular?
What is your Insta secret?
What's your Insta secret?
Honestly, no idea. I have no idea how I got popular. Because all I was just posting pictures of like my pets.
Yeah.
And I just blew up. Where like I've noticed where other women kind of use like sex appeal to do it.
That's what we do.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah.
I mean, totally. Dave does it all the time.
Mm.
So the last time Dave was here, he took my big anaconda and took a picture on my car with it.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen that actually.
Yeah, it was
You got a Camaro, so I mean, what option did I have?
That's very true.
Yeah.
I have seen that picture.
like, yeah, I have no idea how I like blew up. It was just me posting stuff. I mean, I used to post a lot of like funny pictures where like I would do like a double chin or something. I don't know how that got popular.
Yes, so Benjamin, just shave your beard and utilize that double chin, and you can be more popular on Instagram.
I do.
I feel like you really blew up after you posted that full bunny suit picture with like the old bunny pajamas holding the anaconda. Like that's what me. I followed right away.
For me, I think I blew up before that. That was funny.
Are you going to go put on the bunny suit right now? Is that what?
No, my dog kept opening the door, so I closed it.
That would have been. We should have talked about that beforehand. You should have wore the bunny suit.
I mean, I can grab it. I also have a snake onesie.
We're not opposed to any of this, actually.
If we were going to dress up in costumes, we need to know beforehand. All right, because I have ideas.
Not in the room, so I don't want to wear it.
That's funny.
This light is getting worse.
Right.
Whatever.
There we go. I gotta lean forward. Okay.
Check it out.
Good. Anything else?
Yeah, what's going on over there, guys? You having a little side conversation without us?
I'm just trying to,
I don't know what he's talking about.
I don't know what's happening. I'm happy to be here.
He's like giggling about this rabbit costume or something.
I'm not giggling.
Do you want me to go get it? Or like,
No. It's
I don't.
all right.
I wouldn't put you through that. I already have it on your Instagram. It's fine.
I don't think I've worn it in a picture in a long time. I just post an old picture.
And I'm not being creepy about it, if that's what you're thinking. No,
Like a furry thing? You turn this into some kind of furry thing?
Well, I understand the furry culture. It's all good, man. Like whatever you want to do, it's cool.
Now, when you say understand, do you mean you love it? Or
Look,
just
this is a
understand?
different interview, okay? I'll dress up like a fox. You'll put your bear costume on. It'll be good. It's fine.
I have a bear costume? You mean when I take my shirt off?
I mean, it's in the mail. I mean,
Oh, there's a bear costume on the way?
yeah.
There better fucking be a bear costume on the way.
If not, you better order one right now.
There's delays on Amazon, right? Like there is way back up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're not out of stock on that. I think we're going to be okay.
It's an essential item, really.
It is essential.
Yeah, it
It's
really
true.
is.
You got to get through these times. You know what I mean?
So,
All right.
why don't we bring it back around? So,
Yeah, you're talking about thinking something.
yeah, Megan, is there anybody else in the industry that you look up to right now, aside from, Ben? Obviously, you're looking up to him, and Dave.
I don't know. Not really.
You can say no. Yeah, you can just say fuck
He is
everybody.
a trailblazer. Look at that. She's like, I don't need you. No. I'm good.
Nah.
I like it.
My own thing. I don't really care about social media. Like I said, I don't know how I blew up. I don't put effort into it on purpose. I just kind of post what I want.
Makes me feel really bad.
Yeah, we're all doing something wrong.
I put so much effort into
I
it.
mean, I think part of it is like me being a woman with like big snakes.
Yeah.
Another thing is like, not many people do anacondas, so like that's kind of another plus.
Yep.
Other than that, I have no idea.
Well, I was saying maybe anybody in the not just social media, like people that work with anacondas or retics that you're like, oh man, they're doing a really good job or something like that.
I mean, I have like my friends who do retakes and stuff, and I'm always like supportive of them, but I wouldn't say like I look up to them a lot. I just kind of like
They're okay.
They're cool.
I tolerate
Okay, guys, you're definitely not getting the point. She's got 66,000 followers. She doesn't need anybody. Stop asking her these questions. She doesn't like anybody else.
I'm kind of offended that you're continuing to ask these questions, Ben.
It's not about social media. I was just trying to promote other, like there's.
I mean, yeah, no, I have no idea.
It's cool.
That's fair.
I think I have more likes or followers or whatever on Facebook than I do Instagram now.
Well, how about this? Before you were too good for everybody, was there somebody you looked up to?
I mean, Ben, obviously.
Okay. You didn't fanboy out anybody else, like Prehistoric Pets, any other big retic breeders out there? Not just independent?
I'm not touching those names. Nope.
Yeah, we don't actually do names on this show. Ben's up. We can use
You
Ben's
just
name.
dropped some names. Like, what?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I was just thinking of California breeders, and that one popped in my head. There was no fine print on this one.
I mean, not like growing up, but like getting into the big snakes more. Yeah, I hung out at Prehistoric Pets a lot. I mean, I was friends with Jay's daughters for a long time. I mean, I still talk to them, just not as often. Like, I kind of started doing my own thing. It's just like, I learned what I learned, but like, I wasn't into retics as much.
Wow.
Like, I love retics, but like, I have them just because I like them, and I have the morphs that I like, but I don't like go out of my way to like have retics.
Gotcha.
Like, I have a cow. I can get my cow out. I love that thing.
Yeah, I saw pictures of that on Instagram. It's beautiful looking.
He's in shed, but he's friendly,
Confident.
but he's ugly right now. I can get it.
So, just for the record, we're not going to talk about furry stuff anymore?
Yeah, can we not? I'm all right to not.
Wait,
Maybe.
you guys are
Oh, you big baby.
I didn't know that you were uncomfortable. I'm fine with the furry culture. I don't know.
I'm not uncomfortable.
You look uncomfortable.
I don't feel
I
like
don't mean to threaten your sexuality, man.
I'm not.
Hey, it's not weird.
It's not weird at all. That's what I'm trying to say. I support you. That's what I'm.
Wow.
Yeah, don't hate it till you watch Ryan do it.
I'm real good at it.
I need a Superman shirt.
I need a Superman shirt in the closet.
He's in shed.
I would love cow ticks, man.
So he's not just a cow. He's a motley cow, possible super tiger, sunfire, possible head albino.
Whoa.
Can I ask you how you know that?
How do I know that?
Yeah.
Shane Costello, who I got him from, said that. And I believe him because I know the pairing that it came from. So, like, Shane is one of my good retic buddies. He produces a lot of, like, really cool stuff, and I've gotten a lot of retics from him. Okay, there we go. There we go. Better picture.
Nice.
He's in shed. He looks a lot better and a lot more white when he's not in shed. So, see, he's pink. He's usually white.
Well, the very harsh light over top of your head makes him look white, so you're good to go.
Extremely white.
You look a lot whiter.
So before, when we were asking people that you like, you just didn't want to mention Shane?
I
Just,
mean,
you know.
I wouldn't say I look up to him, but I like him. He produces some amazing stuff like this.
Don't break your arm talking about Shane.
So have you guys ever Facebook stalked Shane yet?
No.
I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, let's just say this, guys. 10 all day long.
All
Perfect
right.
10.
Perfect 10. I love it.
Perfect 10. Perfect 10.
Is he on
Whatever
Instagram?
he says has got to be true. Too beautiful to lie.
SC Constrictors, I think.
What was it?
SC Constrictors.
He's got that one really beautiful orange retic that he posts a lot of pictures of. What was that
No,
mutation?
it's Orange Ghost Stripe. I had one from him. It's an orange ghost stripe tiger. I can pull her out too. You want me to grab
Does
her?
it look as good as his?
It looks, yeah.
Okay.
It's,
Go ahead. What? I didn't realize there were so many good-looking ones out there. Yeah, you can grab that one.
it's
How'd you
also-
do, Ryan? Did you find pictures?
Okay, so like we planned this really bad.
Instagram.
Everything I have
I'm
is
all
in-
over it.
Everything I own right now is in shed. Like this
Yeah.
is bad timing.
That kind of happens.
And
It's
he's
okay.
breeding anthills. We just got a clutch of anthills. Not a lot of people are doing that. That's crazy.
Is he really doing anthills?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. That is.
He is.
Oh, yeah.
Anthills, man. Right
Is that a
on.
magic marker on that animal?
That is a magic marker.
Yeah.
Nice.
Look at that.
Oh yeah. Seeing the picture now of the.
Like these guys, man.
Oh, yeah. That's the one I think she's going to get right now. That thing's incredible. That might be one of my favorite retics ever.
How can you not like that? Like it's just so striking.
Well, there's that 20-foot thing, but other than that, I love it.
Yeah, you gotta get it in a super dwarf.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got this.
All right. You brought a rosy bow out.
Little rosy boa.
Is that a San Felipe or what kind is that, locality-wise? You don't know, do you?
Okay, I'll tell you who I look up to. Todd Dyer of Psychotic Exotics. He's been like one of my really good friends for the longest time. He gave me this thing.
Nice.
I have no idea what it is. I keep it because it's cool.
That's part of your hybrid program, right?
Sure.
Yeah,
Cool
That's a
that.
boa.
Rosy
breed
boas
that.
and the green anaconda hybrids.
I'm pretty sure he disappeared. He bit me, by the way. He got me.
It's always the little ones that get you.
Yep.
He's so fat. Look at him.
He's
I
chubby.
love rosy boas. Those are
I've
cool.
always loved rosy boas too.
He bit me, though. Look, there we go. There's the blood. Do you see it?
Yeah, see, the one you would least expect.
You're a trooper.
Yeah, so if the audience has learned anything, buy your kids anacondas, buy them retics, buy them berms. Do not buy them rosy boas. They
Yeah,
will beat your
You know,
kids.
there's no super biters. I did not know that because this is the first time he's bitten me. But every time I post him, everyone's like, "Oh, they always bite," and I'm just like, "This one's never bit me until just now."
You know, there's that whole thing when you're the small kid going into school, you gotta go like swing off on the first big guy that comes along to get some
Yep.
respect. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I think in this case, these ones like to hide and bury themselves, but yeah, I don't know, for each their own. So, by the way, we got to put a disclaimer on these episodes that the things I'm saying are not real things. Like, you know,
we need
Yeah,
the
Mike-
banner along. Reptile
Yeah.
expert right
anything
now.
that comes out of Dave's mouth, bullshit.
Oh, shit. Okay, she's coming out. If you don't know this about retics, they love to launch out when you open any type of cage that they're in. And she's doing that. She's also shedding right now, so she looks kind of crappy. But she's trying.
You guys want to see another crappy snake?
Love crap.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, please.
Well, this is the most animal action we've ever had on this show before.
I'm loving it, man, because nobody cares about us. They just want to see animals. You know what I mean?
That's really it. Yeah, honestly.
No, come back. Okay, I have to
Don't
soak.
believe Dave. Don't ever believe Dave.
So yesterday she started shedding, and I bet she didn't finish. So I gotta soak her. Give me your head. But her head looks amazing right now. Come back. Look at that.
Oh, man.
It look horrible.
And what is the morph?
She's a tiger orange ghost stripe.
Tiger orange ghost stripe. Huh.
Come back. Look at the camera.
I feel woefully uneducated about retic morphs.
There's quite a few. I used to nerd out on a lot of Jay's videos back in the day, the cutting videos.
And I have
Absolutely.
more I can pull out.
In fact, my wife wants to get us to get retics because she watched Jay's videos, and she's like, "I like that one." I'm like, "Yeah, well, you're gonna like it when you gotta clean up that poop."
I can tell you what, I got a couple for sale.
I'm trying to get the super dwarf thing going on. That would be awesome.
I don't have super dwarfs. I got big ones.
I know they're for pansies. I got you.
Well, actually, the super dwarfs tend to be a lot flightier.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess they are closer to wild caught stock, right?
Yeah. It's wild caught blood more because they're bred to each other instead of like other ones.
Mm-hmm.
What? I'm not great at super dwarf stuff. I'm peeling. Everyone's gonna have a field day with yelling at me because I'm peeling it.
That's an ASMR video right now.
That's okay. You know what I get the most like shit for? Sorry for my language. On Instagram is shedding videos. Like if you help them shed, even if you're like in your hand and you're just doing this, like this thing is now. See my hand? People lose their mind. Like absolutely lose it.
Why is that?
They think you're hurting them, or you're gonna peel scales off, but like if it's already coming off, it's not gonna hurt them.
Yeah, it's a natural part of
Right. Like they're basically using it as like a tree or a rock. I need to soak her. She's just started yesterday, and she should be done. I feel bad. I'm sorry.
At least you apologized.
Right?
Yeah.
Let me get away from my face. But
Well,
look,
I guess after this, we're going to start getting hate mail for the first time ever.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Oh, just your bad shedding retic.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we get hate mail. We never get hate
The
mail.
more hate mail you get, the more the algorithm boosts you. So bring it on, guys.
like your guys are gonna like blow up. I get a lot of hate.
Right on.
Like I'm not even kidding.
She even told us, before we went on air, that she doesn't believe in Santa Claus. I mean,
Wow.
for real,
Wow.
for real.
Kids everywhere are gonna
I
be
thought this
sending
was
us mail.
America. All right.
So that is a beautiful snake, even in shed.
So, are you breeding retics, or are you just keeping them for fun?
Keeping them for fun. I've loaned a couple out for breeding, and I've obviously made some that way. But for the most part, I'm just kind of keeping them for myself. And eventually, like these, I got a lot of them a year or two ago, so they're not ready because this is a female. She's 2 years old. She'll be ready by 3 if I push her. Which is, the average age most people do it, but like a lot of people like to power feed, which is like putting a meal in them as soon as like the lump is gone. I kind of just feed them weekly. But I do make. I mean, she did grow a lot in the last 6 months. She's kind of hit a growth spurt.
I think Kevin McCurley wrote an article, I think it was in Reptile Magazine years ago, might have been 10 plus years ago, but didn't he have part of the article where he talked about you could actually power feed them to the point where you can get them to grow 12 feet in 1 year?
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, I've seen that happen.
Yeah, couldn't even imagine that.
That's wild.
I mean, I think
Do not recommend.
Let's find out. How long is she?
Another disclaimer.
Get out of my face.
There's something.
How tall are you?
Me? I'm 5'11".
All right, so that retic is 7 foot 8 inches.
No,
Calling it right now.
That's 12 foot old.
I'm just joking.
Yeah.
So that cow I showed you.
Yeah.
I measured him. So I have this wall in my backyard, and there's like 16-inch bricks along the wall. So every time they line up along it, I just count the bricks and then do the math. He came out to like just shy of 9 feet, and she's at least got a foot or two on him.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Just doesn't look it though.
What?
They never look as big as they are.
Yeah.
No.
She hides it well.
Her body.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah. Retics are a very slender body. Like I have an anaconda, same size as her, twice the girth, and it's a male.
Yeah,
they 3 times the size.
Suck it in. Second level. What?
He hides it real well too.
I hide it real well.
You got a piece. Nice.
I mean, it's all over my hands and me. If I stand up, it's just all over me.
So do you have a few more? You said you had a couple more that you wanted to pull out.
I mean, I've got.
I don't want to make you work for it. I mean, so.
Well, I can pull out smaller ones.
Okay.
So, what do I have? Okay, that one is a little flighty. I don't want to pull her out because she's bigger. That one's mean. I got 2 like different albinos. So I got a lavender marble and a lavender motley golden child.
Ooh.
Those will be interesting. They're fun. They're albino. They're a little different.
Okay.
Okay, I'll grab them.
Sounds great. We really appreciate you doing this. I feel like we're really putting you to task here.
Oh, no problem. As long as it's not like the big stuff. Like the T positive is probably the biggest one I want to pull out because that's a workout. And she's
Yeah.
not huge. She's like 11 feet. And
We
just fun.
we handled like a 7-foot anaconda at the Reptarium with Barchek, and that was my first time actually handling a larger anaconda. And man, like they're not fat at all. Like these things are muscle. You know what I mean? Like it was definitely a workout. I can't even imagine something bigger than that.
My biggest female, the one I showed you that was in the cage with the male, she's 13 feet. I think the last time I weighed her, she was like 115.
Wow.
And that was before breeding. Like, I beefed her up for breeding because you don't want them to get like too skinny because they do stop eating for 8 months. But it's a long time.
For 8 months, really?
Well, some will stop eating. Some will start taking meals very few. Like you want to try and offer them small meals, and if they take it, they take it. Like the Aner used to do that. Like the first 3 months of her being gravid, she still took rats. But no, I have her. She'll stop completely. Like she won't take any food for 8 months, and by the time she's done, right now she's wider than my thigh, and by the time she's done, she'll probably be as big as my bicep, which is
huge.
Yeah.
Hey, put those guns away. Do you got a permit for that? Come on.
All right. Let's see some more snakes.
Bird.
Awkward turtle, Ryan.
I like how that's the most awkward moment of this episode is that.
I apologize. I thought I was being funny.
It's
trying to be entertaining host.
It's all in good fun, Ryan.
That's fine.
It's all
There's no bear suit coming, by the way. I'm just saying that right now.
Yeah, I know. I just didn't want to show my sadness on the video.
Did you see that face? Because something just popped up right here.
I did not.
I was too busy staring at Ryan.
It's a lot of people have that problem.
Yeah, it's mostly the words coming out of your mouth right now.
It's okay. I'll be quiet.
Was looking for bear suits, but yeah.
Let go.
Oh, it's happening.
Well, this is a lavender marble.
I'm gonna call Leo.
See the pattern?
Got a guy?
Oh man,
We always have a guy, but that looks beautiful.
And my brother produced this one. I got him from my brother, Jeff Kelley.
that is beautiful, man.
He might poop on me. Do you see his tail? He wants to poop.
Oh yeah. There's one on deck for
They are
sure.
known to do that.
Yeah, I don't want to see that.
Fun thing with retics, every time you take them out, you kind of hold them. It's always the gravity effect that makes them poop.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah.
He's gonna explode, so I don't want to hold him too much more.
Okay, we don't have to do that. Have you seen you can put them away, but have you seen the Nutella thing that they're doing with kids on videos right now? It's kind of funny. The mom or dad or whatever is sitting in the bathroom.
Yeah, and they
they're
put the kid's hand. Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, so they ask for the toilet paper, and when the kid gives them the toilet paper, they put Nutella on their hand, and the kid freaks out. I think it'd be just as epically funny if you did it with retic poop.
This is gonna be fun. Just watch.
Watch.
You're gonna put retic poop out on your dog?
Oh, I didn't do it. No, this one likes to jump out. Come on. That was my bench.
That one heard you talking about her, and now she's salty. Obviously.
Oh yeah, for sure. Come here.
I do like retics, man. I've seen the pictures of the poops, man. It's just too much.
It's just a lot of space and food.
I can tell you now. Anaconda poops, way worse.
Really? I've never seen a picture of an anaconda poop. I'm gonna have to Google
I
that.
can give you pictures. One of them just pooped this morning. I can get pictures.
I'd love to see it. I don't know why that doesn't seem weird to me.
So this is a lavender motley golden child. See the
Is the golden child a single gene or is that a combo?
golden child?
Yeah. Okay. Is that the one they mix to with something else to make the cow? I'm
No, so
super
cow?
stupid about this.
The cow is a phantom and an orange ghost stripe.
Yeah, I wasn't even close.
Wow.
I apologize.
I got a purple phantom. Okay. I've got 2. One's a baby. It's a straight, just kind of dick. And then the adult is in charge.
Can I ask? So when we started, you're like, yeah, if you anacondas. How many retics do you have?
Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that one? 8, 9. I think there's 10 in here.
10 and a Rosie.
Oh, wait. Well, I missed a couple.
It's funny how you find all these snakes once you start counting.
Okay, look. Yeah, I can count anacondas too. So this one, golden child, purple, golden child, genetic stripe.
I like that one a lot.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh
I
man,
love golden child stuff.
5.
the eyes on that thing contrasted with the freaking super orange. Oh man, that's
So,
cool.
Get my face out of it. No, focus.
It's focusing.
Yeah, it's focusing-ish.
There we go. See its eye? I love
Those are like huge silver eyes with that orange. Man, that's gorgeous.
This one's so cool. This one's just a baby, obviously.
That's really neat.
Got another one that's cool.
I wish we could do that with ball pythons. That type of like super bright orange like that. Like
I'm sure we can. We can do anything with a ball python.
we haven't got there yet.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess you haven't.
Got some balls.
You
Yeah,
got
we
ball
don't want to do
pythons.
that shit on here. Come on.
You're holding out on us. I actually know about ball pythons.
Got a couple. Then tell me what this is.
You're a jerk. Out of the 20,000 mutation combos or whatever, like, tell me what this is.
I can tell you it's shed.
It's 2 genes, right?
Is there leopard? There's leopard in it.
Leopard.
Leopard.
Mojave.
That's got to be an. No, that's not leopard.
What?
Ivory, right?
Like, it's in shed, obviously.
Oh, right.
One gene is obvious for color.
Yeah.
Hey, Ryan, you need me to hold your hand on this one, bud?
Oh, calm down, Dave Levinson.
What is it, Dave?
Let's hear it, bud.
Well, there's how many genes? 3 genes?
3. Leopard
Okay,
is
so banana, leopard, and Mojave are lesser?
lesser. Yeah.
I thought Mojave as well.
What's that? You're breaking up, Dave. I can't hear you. There's a storm
Lightning.
happening. I don't know what's going on.
I
I
thought
think your
it was
furry costume got a little hair in your ear, buddy. You might want to get that out of there.
Mojave.
It's kind of glued on. I don't know what's happening. I feel like this is going so far off the rails.
Yeah, this is we're a different direction on this episode. Yeah, we bring one girl on and it just turns into kindergarten play over here.
This one's also in shed.
So we got a banana hidden G1 lesser.
No.
Mojave?
Yeah.
One more gene or is that it?
No, there's more.
GHI?
No.
So banana, Mojave, yellow belly?
No. Wait.
Oh.
No. Oh,
Wait, I'm calling kangaroo court. You don't even know.
Hey.
banana crystal, which is
Oh, banana crystal. I wouldn't have guessed that one.
Yeah, I wouldn't have either.
I don't know balls very well. I only have a couple of them. I actually made this one. It's Posset Pied.
Oh, that's what threw me off.
Yeah, that
I can't tell.
That's
It's
that's where that belly pattern came from. I got confused on.
I mean,
It looked like it had that soul sucker pattern on the side. I'm sorry.
Dave has the siblings.
I do have the siblings.
It was a banana. That banana
The
special.
mic.
That was cool.
Stop working.
And then I was gonna get a fan on that.
No, I can't click.
Technical difficulties.
Tried hitting the button. The button doesn't work.
Don't bite me.
Yeah, I did.
Button works.
Oh, yeah, it worked.
It bit me.
Dang it! It was off screen.
I can't get it to.
No. Okay, that's
The button.
come here.
Oh, there we go. Something was going on with the screen.
Literally just changed the battery 2 days ago. So
So while that was going on, she lost the snake.
It's going to bite me. So this is a purple phantom. Gotta go.
purple.
Look at it.
I'm
looks-
looking.
There we go. So it's a purple phantom.
So that's purple albino.
Yeah.
See, I know about stuff.
There we go.
Yeah.
There's its face.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now that it's calmed down. See the best.
I do like retics, man.
They're beautiful.
That is beautiful.
If I could only hire an employee to take care of them.
Get in there. Stop it.
What about that Ben guy you hang out with? You know, as soon as he gets out of the rat room, make him go to the retics.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Did you see it try and bite me?
We did.
Absolutely.
We heard it.
It was the
That's
best.
the fun part. Like, it didn't get me, but it's fun. And it's just a baby. It doesn't hurt. It'll just draw some blood. Like a little bit of blood.
Just a little bit.
Just a little. Just enough.
Oh, you want to see something cool? Hold on.
Yeah, that's why we're talking to you.
Mhm.
This is the best show and tell episode ever.
This is the greatest. I love how we're just like discovering new things. Like it's like, oh wait a minute, this thing, yeah.
Hold on, I gotta clean it off.
Okay. Dave, how's the weather coming along? It looks like it's starting to calm down.
And it's over. I thought it was going to get really bad, but it didn't get really bad.
You could have at least like pantomimed it, like rattled around a little bit, like oh no.
See, but I was waiting for it to really get bad, and then I was going to have this whole thing, and yeah, we never got there. We never got there, bud.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time. You know, it's funny. I was actually talking about the Jurassic Park scene. When I was sitting in this parking lot getting ready, there was a crackhead hanging out. So I was kind of hoping when the storm started getting all crazy, he might like come against the window all like Velociraptor, but it just never happened that way, man. That was wishful thinking.
Is that a pancake tortoise?
It is.
I love those. Oh man, those are
Two of
cool.
them. I can pull the other one has a cooler like shell pattern. This one, so I named them Chicken and Waffles. This is
Nice.
chicken.
Wow.
I like it.
I'll pull out waffles in a second, but I had to clean them off. They were kind of dirty.
Yeah,
It's one of my favorite.
Look at it's got like bunny ears on right now. The Playboy bunny ears.
Oh yeah, check that out, and a couple of other symbols that we won't talk about.
Oh, I didn't see those ones. Can we do this again?
Want to see? Oh, wait, ow! I got your foot. I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's see what Ryan was talking about. Oh, the
Yeah.
little, there's some Hebrew down the back.
That appeals to Ben's nature.
This is cool. This is the smaller one. I'll grab the bigger one. I think it's a pair. So I got.
Oh yeah,
It pooped on me. So I got.
you look beauty over there, buddy. We're gonna double down on these pancakes. I think we should double down on these pancakes. Can we get 2 pancakes at once?
You got to get the stack going.
Gotta get the other one.
You can't just have a single pancake.
Yeah.
What the heck is that?
Hmm.
Hey Ben,
Yeah.
I got something a little special for you, buddy.
I can't wait. I
Oh
So-
my goodness, David Levinson.
What was that?
I said to Ryan before, but that my grandparents or great grandparents when they came over, some of their family they changed their names. So I have an uncle who, when I went to New York and I looked at the board of people that came in, it's not an uncle, so it's my great grandmother's brother. His name was Samuel Levinson.
Yeah.
They
You
changed
guys
it.
are related.
They changed it to
changed it.
Levin.
Yeah, I think Levinson means world, maybe, or something. Or maybe I'm thinking of another friend story about their family. I don't really know for sure. But no, I got a Sammy Levinson out by you. Actually, he's in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And it's
That's
funny,
lovely.
I went and looked at the board for my family name, but Goodman wasn't on there.
That's weird.
Really?
All right.
Because
I got 2 pancakes.
German.
Oh yeah.
So, hold on. Let me. Okay, I'm sorry. So this one's bigger. Where am I going? See the patterns? They're different.
Oh, yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have to get some pancake tortoises now.
This one's got like a straight bunny on it. Do you see the bunny? It's even got an eye.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
that one actually looks like the Donnie Darko bunny.
It's in profile. That's cool.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I like
So,
tortoises.
what made you get pancake tortoises?
My boyfriend wanted them at the time, and then he didn't want them, so now I have them.
Nice.
I've
My
had them for
boyfriend
like
never gives me anything.
2 or 3 years.
You guys have different preferences, we found out today.
Who?
I'm trying, guys.
Right about those two guys over there.
Oh.
They're working through some problems right now. Ben and Brian, very complex relationship.
Apparently.
Listen, welcome to R&B Reptiles Presents.
Yeah. So I think that you lucked out on this deal. I think getting pancake tortoises is the way to go.
I mean,
I'm
I
going to call
bought
that a win.
They were cool.
Yeah.
One just peed on me. So that's fun.
Those are the breaks.
That's inconsiderate.
Did it pee in the last bite, or did it miss the bite holes?
What?
Did it pee on your bite from the snake?
Yeah. Your rosy boa bite. Is it?
No, it missed.
Oh.
That wasn't even like a bite, okay? Like it barely drew blood. Like it's not a bite, okay?
Yeah, Dave, stop crying about it.
Yeah. I don't like the way you said that. It counts.
It
Okay.
doesn't count. Small things don't count.
I mean,
it counts.
Oh, snap. Poor guy.
I just know it.
it's like Rose. I was gonna say
We're going to have to cut this apart.
Oh, come on.
we're not cutting anything. I was gonna say rosy
man.
boa bites are like, down here, and like leopard gecko bites are like up here, but like still it counts.
Oh, yeah. We're not in the same joke right now, Ben. You trying to take us in
I
another
know I was
direction?
trying to like go with it, but it wasn't working.
He's trying to get us back on the rails. The rails,
That's
brother.
not what I meant, okay.
So we appreciate you.
Actually, you have been
tortoises.
my favorite guest since we've done like 6 of these, and this is the number 1. I love it.
So we might want to edit that part out because you're going to offend the other 5 people, except for Bob. Screw Bob.
Okay.
We like everybody.
Yeah, we love everybody. Enough.
Yeah, so let's really get down to Tiger King. I think this is the part of the
This is
episode.
the Tiger. We got to
I
go
don't
into the Tiger
Tiger
King
King.
episode. Lightning round, 10 minutes. Tiger King. Let's go.
I didn't think it was a recurring theme with us bringing up Tiger King, but it kind of seems like it.
This is the 3rd time.
What about
Well,
Tiger?
last time we were talking in Australian, and I really wanted his take on it.
Yeah.
I figured we limit it to different people in different countries, but we haven't had a girl's perspective on it yet, so this is actually kind of good.
That's true.
We would like the female perspective on Tiger King. Go.
Like, what do you mean?
No pressure.
Holy shit! Wait, you watched it, right?
Yes, I watched it. You and I send memes to each other like every day.
Well, I know, but you just get an idea and watch it vibe, like when we talked to Bob.
Yeah, Bob sent out a ton of memes about it, and he didn't watch it.
Yeah, poser.
You should know this about me. I don't know anyone by like name. Like I don't pay attention to people in the hobby. I'm not saying that to be mean. I just
She
don't.
is so much better than us.
Like I'm
Jeez.
kind of in my own little world where like I do my thing and that's about it.
Okay.
So
Well,
Tiger King.
Like,
yeah.
it took Dave probably like 4 years to actually be my friend. Like he kept trying, and I was just like, "Who are you?"
Hey, minimal effort. Minimal effort.
Congratulations, Dave.
Fucking 66,000 followers over there. Edit this shit out.
Oh, man.
Okay, we're gonna start out with the first question about Tiger King. Marry, fuck, kill. Doc Anthony, Joe Exotics, Carol Basket.
I mean, kill Carol, obviously.
Who are you
we
taking
allowed-
home to the parents?
Are we allowed to say that? Are we going to get sued?
Anything else? It's weird.
Listen, Doc obviously knows how to take care of somebody. All right. That's all I'm saying.
I mean,
Well-
Joe's gay.
Yeah, but
Okay.
he's
You're
also
talking to a
considerate.
woman about a gay guy. Like, come on, guys.
Okay, well, maybe, I don't know, marry him then. Then you don't have to worry about ever sleeping with him.
I'm good.
I mean, I personally would probably marry Doc because he has so many other distractions. I'm probably going to be like really low on his totem pole. I'm going to have the worst house out of all the wives. I promise you that.
This is the deal. You bang Joe for the wild weekend, but you go home to Doc, okay? Carol's out.
Joe's got like diseases.
Yeah, you're going to get some from Joe, but, there's condoms.
We discussed this earlier in the episode.
Anacondoms.
Anacondoms.
Yeah, if you're going to have sex with Joe Exotic, wear an anaconda.
This is going to be a thing. This might be the thumbnail. I don't know.
Drawing up the prototype right now.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but the first time we have a female on the show, we're not going to do a bunch of condom jokes, okay, guys?
Wait, no, I have a picture. I'm going to bring it up. I have a picture of a snake shedding.
Listen,
These
jokes have nothing to do with there being a female on the show. Let me just put that out there right now.
No, not at all. This was just the flow. We couldn't control what happened.
I'm going to find this picture.
Well, do you guys remember when I posted the picture of the scaleless ball python shed?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Was that a fake yes?
Is this what he loves this picture? Wait.
Oh, I didn't see it. Wait, hold on. Should I look at it first? That's Ryan's picture.
That's the one right there. Yeah. I love it.
And then, hold on.
I got to get one of those bunny suits now.
So
another one?
That one anaconda I was holding in the very beginning looks like that normally.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'll send you guys these. And then, hold on. Where is this picture I'm talking about? No, that's not it. Hold on. Still trying to find it.
Yeah. This is amazing content.
Well, that's why we're not live. We're gonna edit. It's fine.
Well, but I still don't really support this editing thing. I feel like we should really just,
let it go.
Down.
We all know that everybody clicked off 6 minutes into the video, so this
no
is
way.
Fine. Do whatever you want to do.
Oh,
man, those are
YouTube statistics. I'm sorry, people have short attention spans.
Then what are we even doing here?
I mean,
we're gonna pull clips out of it into 6-minute segments.
We could just start a 6-minute podcast.
Yeah,
6 minutes, we're done.
Give me your best content. 6 minutes, go.
Yeah, 6 minutes to impress everybody, and then no matter what, at minute 6, we just turn it the fuck off. They don't have an option.
That would actually be really funny. Actually,
it'd be a lot of work.
Do that.
I just want to see them rush all that information out those last 30 seconds.
You're gonna have that group of people that panic and they don't know what to do, and you're gonna have that one guy that comes in and is like, "Bam!" and you're like, "This guy, he's the guy."
He's gonna give you the full 6.
He's gonna give you 6.5, even though you don't want it.
Yeah, but I'm gonna cut him off at 6 because we're not doing 6.5, buddy.
That's right.
This is getting awkward for me.
I'm sorry.
Well, you told us to talk. This is your fault, not mine.
Okay, hold on. I can't find it. I'm having trouble finding this picture. I know I have it. Okay,
you can just send it to us later and then describe it to us now.
Yeah.
I can't really describe it. It's like.
Are there people in it?
What?
Let's play charades. Charade it to us.
Yes.
Okay, it's a baby snake shedding.
There's talking that charades is more acting.
Hold on. Oh, there it is. Okay, here we go.
Oh, we got that.
Got it. Look, let me turn my brightness down so it's easier to see. Okay.
This better be a damn good picture. Oh yeah. Oh, that's really
eating itself. Right on.
Right?
That is cool.
What is that, a California king?
No.
This is a California King Anaconda.
Yeah.
Oh, like a conda pattern mutation?
Wait,
it's shedding.
Say what?
Are you being serious?
No. Did you not see the disclaimer? Everything I say is not viable information.
I mean, I don't know.
Dave.
Don't believe Dave.
You say some pretty random stuff, so I don't know with you sometimes.
Yeah, I'm really good at sarcasm too. It's all about the
I'm
face.
aware of that. I've learned that.
Not very good at blinking, but good at other things.
Did I blink? Does that count as a blink?
You
I
did.
can
No,
start
no,
doing that
I
every once
said
in a while.
I compliment you on your anti-blinking stance.
Well, you know what it is? I drink a Red Bull every time before we do this show. And then I just don't blink.
You don't even drink it. You put it in a dropper and you go like this.
Yeah, right in the eyeball like an amateur.
I like
you,
this.
you mainline it.
This one's not in shed. What is it, guys?
Is that a banana het red?
No.
Oh, I'm going to go banana calico.
Yes, and
Spider?
Cinnamon.
yeah, cinnamon. You guys got it. Good job.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but it's a spider.
didn't get it.
I didn't buy it as a spider,
You guys.
but it started.
It's not a
being
spider.
spider
Just-
wobble, so like I think
Yeah.
it had a spider.
Go ahead, Ben. Pop it up there. Don't listen to Dave.
I don't know what we were saying. I was talking about my snake, and then you guys were just like over here.
Yeah,
Sorry.
don't believe Dave, Anaconda expert. This video brought to you by Fear.
We saw that one.
Ball.
So, Megan, would you say that Tiger King will leave a lasting impression in your life, or have you already moved on?
I mean, I've moved on. I'm
Have
just
you?
making jokes, but it's
Okay.
it's like it's had its 15 minutes of fame, and like I don't think anything more is gonna come from it. You please.
Oh, I don't know.
Until Trump pardons Joe Exotic. Then we get Tiger King 2. It's on.
I saw something the other day about there being like a Tiger Queen something.
Oh,
Hmm.
I hear that whole community is a lot more interesting than we are.
I mean, yeah, they're like weird exotic people. We're just reptile exotic people.
yeah,
I don't
not
know.
that
I've
weird.
never
So a lot
heard
of people
reptile
in the
beer.
community are very strange.
There's some weirdos.
It takes a special type of person, you know.
Sometimes. Yep.
But there's nothing wrong with that.
Have you guys ever been to Hamburg?
Yes.
Yeah, we've been to Hamburg
Yeah.
many times.
Love Hamburg.
I've probably seen you there, but yeah, it's. Yeah,
I wish Hamburg was a 2-day show where you spent the night. That would be
Dude,
way
that,
better.
like, the fact that they like cram you into like a gymnasium the size of my garage is insane.
With venomous.
Yeah,
and kids.
there's like no laws on anything there. There's caimans, anything crocodilian, like venomous, like it's crazy. And there's
Dude.
so many people, like you can't walk.
You're right. It is the best show ever.
Well, you know, and it doesn't have to be a 2-day show. I know no one else has told you guys this. You know, all the breeders get together the night beforehand and have a lot of fun, right?
Yeah, we're not in the cool kid club, so this is
Want
the
to let
first
you guys
time
know where
I'm
it's
hearing,
at?
this is the first time I'm hearing that, and now I'm depressed. So we're gonna end
I
the
know.
interview now.
But I've never gone.
Does that really happen though?
For
Yeah.
Hamburg?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've been to a bunch of those. Yeah,
Dang it.
right beforehand. There's the little hotel right there. They got the bar downstairs. We all party every single time.
That's
Wow.
you before any show.
Well, because I'm really good at it. Don't give me a hard time.
Well, now I have a different approach to Hamburg.
It's a 2 hour, a little over 2 hour drive for us, so we don't usually spend the night. But now
We're going the day
I feel
before.
like we
Yeah,
should.
the next bar.
It was about 2 hours for me when I was going.
Where are you located? Not to be creepy.
California.
Yeah, she's in California now.
Oh, that's
Well,
not
I've always
2 hours.
been in California. My boyfriend lived in Maryland, so we would
Oh,
I see.
Hamburg. I spent a
Right
lot of time on the East Coast. I would see Dave on the East Coast all the time. I used to see him more there than before. I probably still have. Like Dave never comes out here. He's been out
No.
here once in the last.
I've been
like,
out there more than once.
in the last 2 years. You didn't let me finish.
Sorry. Sorry. You're right. Once.
Okay, wait, maybe twice because I met you in Vegas and that was about it.
Yeah, there's the Vegas trip also. So yeah, I've been out there. Well, semi out there a couple times. No, I'm sure these guys. Have you guys ever been to Pomona?
we haven't yet. We
haven't
really
hit
want
the West
to.
Coast at all.
Might not
Yeah.
happen this year.
We were planning on hitting the West Coast this year, like pretty hard, but
Here's,
then you know.
here's the downside. They're not doing it at Pomona anymore. The last
I
time
heard that.
they switched it to Anaheim.
Mhm.
Biggest pain in the ass for parking. Like it's where NARBC used to be,
Mhm.
and there's a reason NARBC didn't do well there. But Pomona does better not Pomona, but the Reptile Super Show does a lot better advertising for it, so it brings the people in. but parking for vendors and for people just coming was a huge issue.
Yeah, I
Like,
think it was $30 to park, or someone told me, and if you leave the parking lot and come back, they charge you 30 again.
oh no, it was $18.
18. Still a lot of money.
Even for vendors, they were charging vendors, even if you had the parking pass.
Wow.
So they would let you in the parking lot to unload, but they would make you move it, or they would tow you. Like, there was no choice. Like, you had to move.
So obviously you take public transportation as a vendor.
Uber?
Sure.
No?
But most
Uber?
aren't from around there. Like, for
Yeah.
me, it was like a 30-minute drive. So
All right.
Anaheim's a little bit
That
closer
joke didn't
to
work.
Pomona. Pomona was like an hour drive for me.
That was a
And
joke.
then Anaheim was like,
What's that, Dave? I can't hear you.
I'm sorry, we're interrupting Megan right now. Now we're being rude.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. That's his fault mainly.
what?
Jesus.
I didn't hear you. What?
No, it's Ryan's being rude over there. He keeps interrupting you. I'm trying to make him stop, but
I apologize, Dave. I didn't mean to be rude.
don't apologize to me. Apologize to her. I'll forgive you no matter what.
Go ahead, Megan.
What?
Anaheim parking.
What?
You said that you live like 30 minutes away from there, so it's easier for you to drive in.
Well, yeah.
But
like,
some people don't live around there, so they
some
can't
people
like.
are like an hour, 2 hours. Some people come. I mean, everyone comes out for the Super Show now. It's like people are coming from the East Coast. A lot of people come from Arizona, Colorado, Utah, or just even up north, which is like a 7-hour drive or more.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. So there's no public transportation, is what we were
No,
talking about. So we
it's
can't.
just not easy. I mean, it's LA. You get the worst traffic ever here.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's a lot like Tinley, man. You get there and then you just don't leave. There's no reason to leave. There's a hotel right there, man. Just stick on those grounds and you're good to go.
Yep.
But they're going to alternate. I think they're doing what? One time a year in Anaheim and the other time of the year still in Pomona, or all Anaheim now?
As far as what I heard is he has a 3-year contract in Anaheim right now. So the next few shows, so there's 2 shows a year for Super Show. There's one in January, which is always the biggest one, and then there's another one in August, which is a little bit smaller usually. And he has a contract with the venue for the next, I think, 3 to 5 years. So the next few shows are going to be in Anaheim. What happened, what I heard, is like Pomona double booked it and then kicked him out. So he had to find another venue.
Oh.
Unfortunate. No, you guys, honestly, it's definitely a show worth going to. I think the first time I went might have been like 5 years ago. Did we meet, or 6 years ago? The first time I went out there.
6 or 7.
Yeah. And honestly, like I said, the diversity in different species is amazing. We were talking about Black Pearl a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
Got to meet him at that show. And again, there's a million tables there, but that was one table that stuck out mainly because of Eastern Indigos. But no, I love Pomona. I think Pomona's probably my favorite show to actually walk around at.
Yeah, we definitely want to get out there at some point. We really do enjoy, changing it up and going to different places, just to meet different people, because the crowds are different, and sometimes there's people that go to Pomona that they wouldn't go to Tinley or they wouldn't go to Daytona, things like that. So definitely want to get out there. Hopefully they turn these shows back on, and who knows when and where, but they'll come back around at some point. But we just don't know what they're going to look like.
Yeah, I think the only thing that kind of stinks, and not that it's that bad, but I think Pomona and Daytona Beach are back-to-back weekends. So, yeah, you kind of have to pick your poison on that one. It's tough to do them both.
Is Daytona still like a thing because of all the laws that are happening?
Yeah.
It's not as big as it used to be, but it's still a thing.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of vendors actually say they still do very well at that show because it's not as big as it used to be, and they still get decent foot traffic there. But a lot of the laws in that state that affect the shows made it harder for certain vendors to come in from out of state. And I don't know, I've heard of people, you do your paperwork wrong. I've heard horror stories at that show about it. So I don't know. I've never personally been to Daytona.
I've never been to Daytona, so.
Oh, Storm's coming back.
Well, we're coming up onto the 2-hour mark. I don't know, Dave, did you want to add anything, closing remarks? I think that
Oh, I think I've had way too many remarks already, but I think Ryan's turn actually. Maybe. No, Ryan brought it. I don't know, Megan. You got anything else you want to throw out there that you feel like we need to know? Anything that any other species you might want to work with in the future, or are you just going to keep this Conda thing going?
So I'll see what else I can pull out. I got nothing. It's just kind of all the same snakes now. I mean, I'm happy just working with anacondas. I kind of want to downsize a little because, like, there's a lot. I have a lot of them. I'd mainly, if I downsize, I'm just gonna, I'd focus more on the morphs than, my own stuff. So, so I think I'll always have like everything else. Like I'll always have a couple retakes. Like my berms are like my favorite berm project. It's like the only berm project I have for the caramels. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So.
Okay.
Dave, you wanna bring us out on this one? I mean, Megan, we really appreciate you coming on, and we had a lot of fun. I think this is one of those ones where we're joking around a lot. We got to see a lot of really cool animals. So I had a lot of fun.
I mean, go grab one of my lizards. I got a black dragon. I might get cut up because the nail, but I can go grab it.
That's cool. I mean, I think we're okay, but I do enjoy black dragons actually a lot.
Yeah, you wanted to bring it on. We'll have one last black dragon on, and we'll wrap it up.
All right,
sounds like a
plan.
Wrap it
up with the black dragon.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Oh man,
a little bit different this time.
A little bit, yeah. That's okay.
Yeah. It's fun.
Yeah, are we gonna feel ashamed when we go back and watch this?
I'm having a great time.
I'm not gonna go watch it.
You guys are trying to shame me, so that's whatever. I mean, it's cool.
Brian, first off, no one has tried to shame you once in this episode. I was fully supportive about you having sex and bunny costumes. I feel like there's other really nice things I've said to you, or maybe that was it. I can't even remember now.
In fact, you're right. You were very complimentary. Ben has been a dick.
I'm sure as soon as you said that, he crossed his legs over there. It looks a little uncomfortable.
I do have to pee.
Oh, is that what's going on there? You don't have a bottle like Dave? I've already peed twice this episode.
You got to get the anacatheter.
Anacatheter. Dang, we're gonna
do.
I don't think I can handle that. I don't think I can handle that. That sounds like too much. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Okay, that didn't work. It's hungry and tried to bite my fingers. Usually it's friendly, but I did have food defrosting on top of the cage for it, so that's not a good plan.
It's all good.
There goes that strong finish.
What else? Love it. It's really cool. I promise.
It's quite all right.
Yeah.
But no.
Gotta raise your hand.
What?
You have to raise your hand. If you're an expert, put your fucking hand down. Both you sons of bitches. But okay, well, honestly, I think this was a lot of fun. I'm really hoping that we didn't offend you in any way. I really hope it didn't come off, any way other than lots of respect for what you've done with anacondas. Like I said, when we needed someone to work with, there was nobody else I would have called besides you. I'm sure one of the two other people are going to get offended by it, but what can you do?
Who else would get offended?
We're not naming names. This is a no-name show.
I want to know though, because
come on, man. What are you starting drama for? This is a drama-free show.
Drama-free. It's true.
Yeah. We are 100% drama-free on this show. But, honestly, I think that was great. Like I said, I've always found anacondas very fascinating. I really cannot wait to see baby T positives on the ground. I think they're going to be absolutely beautiful. Like, that day cannot come soon enough. So can't wait to start counting down the days. We posted some pictures recently, and I'm sure Megan's going to start posting a lot more of that project now that we've talked about it. But yeah, we're going to try to keep the whole timeline going on this, let everybody know what's happening, and hopefully have a countdown to when we actually get to see a litter of babies. But as long as Megan doesn't fuck it up, we got a real strong future in this project.
Okay, she's already slugged out before me, so we'll see what happens. Okay.
Yeah.
I have faith.
Yeah, I have so much faith. I have all the faith in the world.
Yeah.
Not sarcasm.
I don't want to fuck it up. So now
you're not gonna fuck it up. It's okay. It's fine. Yeah, we can edit this part out.
Keep it in. We're good.
No. But yeah, like I said, really happy to be working with you on the project. Thrilled that you're willing to come on here and do this with us. I'm sure we're gonna have a follow-up, especially when we start seeing babies in the future. I know these guys
Yeah,
will love
absolutely.
it.
Absolutely.
You know,
That would be
even
amazing.
Ryan put himself at the top of the list. He'll be the first one to know.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Very
Well,
excited.
respect, finally.
I'm pretty
And just so you know, Ryan, I've only said that to like 5 or 6 people, but I'm pretty sure those people thought I was joking. So
I don't.
I know you don't. I know you don't.
I'm pretty sure as soon as babies drop, like it's gonna be like all over everywhere. Like I'm gonna want to post it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be amazing. I
So-
really can't wait. And then hopefully sometime over the next 10 years they'll produce a snow. And God knows what that's gonna look like.
I'm
So
gonna try with her. She's so mean.
yeah.
I'm gonna try with her this year, but I don't want to stress the males out too much with breeding because they do stop eating during breeding season. So I'm mainly just trying to put them to the albino. But if they want to go to the double het, if she's more willing, like we'll probably see them sooner than later. So
That's awesome.
Hey, you're the expert, man. Whatever you want to do, you do. I've been saying it since the beginning.
That's great. It would be such a big step for like the hobby, the community, and just anacondas in general. I think it's great. It's really exciting.
I'm really excited about it. It's one of my dream projects. I've wanted it since forever. So
So cool.
I'm really happy Dave came to me for it. So
Well, like I said, you're the only person I know that does condas.
I mean, there's a
You're the
client
best
too.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the best person I know who does condas.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. But all right, Ben, you got your big rollout. We doing Ryan this time? One last question before we roll out of here, and this one's for Ryan. What furry would you be?
It would be a blue and gray fox.
Blue gray fox?
Yeah.
Okay. How about you, Ben?
Maybe a dire wolf.
I dress like a gummy bear. Remember the
Okay.
cartoon?
That's a little deep seated, but I'm into it. How about you, Megan? What's your furry of choice?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'd probably just go with my rabbit suit.
The more important question is, what is the class of your furry?
The what?
My furry is
So
a
we
rogue.
will have a full furry episode in the future. That's a
Yeah.
promise. And we will invite on a real furry, not just people who pose. And then we'll try to really understand what the hell Ryan's talking about right now.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I feel like
And Dave, what's your furry of choice?
Oh God. You know what? I need whatever I can to close. I'm gonna go koala bear because no one ever says no to a koala bear.
Don't they give you chlamydia?
I'm not worried about it. I don't.
They do.
Hey,
they
STDs
do.
don't affect dudes. Doesn't matter.
That's what I heard. I don't know.
Yeah, and I hear monkeys give you herpes, but I'm not gonna stop kissing monkeys.
I mean,
This is terrible.
So
Okay.
we're gonna do a little research on this chlamydia thing, and we'll have a follow up on that in case anyone's curious. Because I'm honestly, this just piqued my interest.
I always
But-
picture Dave as a red-tailed hawk. I mean, I don't know.
Red-tailed hawk. Okay, I don't hate that.
It's the first thing that pops to my head when I think Dave Levinson.
Red-tailed hawk. Okay, I do like that. I'm gonna still go koala because koala's close.
Koala, okay? He's not fierce enough to be a hawk.
Not fierce enough to be hawk.
He's
Yeah.
like cute and cuddly, but he won't kill you. Like a hawk, if you're like food for a hawk, they'll kill you. That's
Yeah.
not
If a man with a mustache like that won't kill me, I don't know what's going on. I've watched a lot of serial killer documentaries.
This is what,
Confusing me with somebody that looks like this. Like,
Yeah, no, you gotta like
Yeah.
cut the thing off. Yeah.
yeah,
yeah,
I
we're past serial killer mustache. We're in a whole other realm now.
yeah, absolutely. All
Um,
right, I think we should close this up.
I think we should be out of here like an hour ago. I think that.
This is
I
the
think we've
best
gone way too
episode
far.
of all time, by the way.
All right, so if you guys like this video, for all the people that are watching, hit that like button, the thumbs up there, and hit the subscribe, and you can see the more stuff that we got out. We'll put Megan's Instagram link below and Facebook, so you guys can check out what she's got going on. And put a comment down below. Let us know what you thought about the episode and what your highs and lows were. All right. So then,
Hey,
I
No one's
enjoyed
back.
myself. I thought this was great. We had a lot of fun.
covered everything that Ryan loves. Furries, anacondas, and Ben.
Well, I don't know about that.
Wow.
so I appreciate it. All right. Thank you so much.
Bye.
She'll never come back on the show.
I mean, if you want to hit up Cheryl, she's getting out of that project now.
Really?
Yep. What the fuck? I don't know what that was, man. My little camera just went down.
Can I call you? Does everybody say that you're like a talk show hostess? Like people
No idea.
compare you to Meghan Kelley? Like,
Oh, well, yeah. People confuse me all the time with that. I get random messages like hating on her, even though the names are so completely different.
that's funny. I won't do that. Okay.
Yeah, don't do that.
You can make a joke. I don't care. It is.
I didn't even know there was another Meghan Kelley.
Wow.
Should I know that? Is that like common knowledge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all right.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.